Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel today. For this recipe I'm going to walk you through one of the tricks I use to get a beautifully seared scallop along with a really nice garnish set to pair them with. By the way, a set or garnish is usually dressings or ingredients that are used to highlight the main ingredient. Just a little brush up on kitchen lingo. Alright, let's dive into the recipe. Alright, so the first thing you want to get rocking in this recipe is the potatoes, since they'll be taking the longest to cook. If you want the same look that I'm going for in this recipe, just make sure the potatoes and ring cutter you'll be using have a similar diameter to the scallops, and then you're going to slice them semi-wet evenly across the potato. The thickness of the slices should mimic the thickness of the scallop as well, just to maintain that overall aesthetic. But at the end of the day, if you want to just dice these up and roast them in your own manner, the dish would come out just as beautiful flavor-wise. Next up, you're going to roast off the potatoes in a large saute pan that's on high heat with a little bit of canola oil and butter. Make sure you season the potatoes with a little bit of kosher salt, and then you're going to be looking for a really nice golden brown color on the top and bottom of these. You can also throw in a few crushed cloves of garlic in there as well for a nice savory pop of flavor, but these will take about 30 minutes on low and slow heat after the initial sear in order to get them to be fully cooked, and maybe even a tad longer if they're on the thicker side. The next thing you want to prep is the roasted zucchini yogurt, which will be the sauce for the dish. So you're going to start off by slicing the zucchini really thin, either with a mandolin or a knife. Season them with a bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then in a very hot pan or on a flat top like I'm going to be using, roast off the zucchini until it has a bit of charring around the edges and some really beautiful golden brown coloring to it as well. After the zucchini are done, you're going to transfer them to a blender. Squeeze the juice from half a lemon straight inside. Add in the whole milk yogurt, a handful of spinach or so, and you're going to blend this all together on high speed for 30 seconds or so, and it should be ready to go. You're going to want to reserve this at room temperature for no longer than 2 hours prior to serving. Once the sauce is done, I'm going to segment some Meyer lemon that I had on hand, and then I'm going to remove the pith from the zest, which is that little white layer right below the skin of the lemon. And this is also the lemon that I used for the juice in my yogurt-based sauce. Alright, after that's all finished up, the next thing you want to do is the butter fried capers. So add a more than generous amount of butter to a small saucepan that's on medium to high heat. Wait for it to completely melt and start to sizzle a bit. Then you're going to add in the capers and cook them for a few minutes until they're slightly puffed up and crispy. While the capers are frying, you can chop up some roasted cashews and add them in at the end so they don't over roast in that frying butter. But once that's all finished, you're going to remove it from the heat and set it aside until you are ready to plate. Okay, so here I'm going to be using the same pan that I used for the potatoes for the scallops, since I don't have all that many to sear off. but just keep the pan on medium heat while you prep the scallops. Sometimes there is an inductor muscle on the scallop, so just remove it if you see it on the edge because it's a bit chewy and really no fun. But after that, you're gonna slice it down the middle diameter of the flesh, season the sliced side with kosher salt and a good dusting of dry curry powder. Then you're gonna add a drizzle of oil to the hot pan, add in the scallops, seasoned side down first, cook them for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. Then you're gonna flip them and sear the other side for about 30 seconds, and they should be ready to go. But right before you are about to dress the plate, add the lemon zest and the oregano to the butter fried capers, and it is go time. Once it's time to plate, like I always say, the presentation is completely up to you, but here I'm going for a very circular look to play off of the scallops and the potatoes. So I'm going to put a dollop or two of the roasted zucchini yogurt down first, put a towel under the plate and give it a few taps on the counter to smooth it out into a rough circle. Next, down are the potatoes and scallops, kind of shingled together in a way around the plate. Then finally the crispy buttery fried caper Gremolata to finish, as well as a few Meyer lemon segments on top, just for a nice little touch of acidity. And that's it. Pan-seared curried scallops, garlic roasted potato fondants, and a butter fried caper Gremolata. All right. What's up, guys? Okay, as you can tell, I already devoured a few of the potatoes and the scallops. This was a lovely dish. The flavors and the textures are, I don't know, it's quite an experience. Lots of, you have the crunchiness from cashews and that little Gremolata on top with the butter fried capers and all that good stuff. And then you have nice, smooth, creamy sauce on the bottom with the yogurt and pureed roasted zucchini. I mean, it's just a really, really cool dish to execute and play around with. Lots of different approaches to this dish as well, as far as toppings and different flares. But I'm gonna dive in and run through the flavors. All right, a little bit of the lemon, a little bit of the sauce, potato. Oh, I can't get over the crispy capers. They're buttery because they soak up some of that butter and they fry up. A wonderful texture on the scallops. And they have quite a bit of salt in them, so they provide the dish with a good amount of salinity. The scallops, amazing, beautiful curry flavor, a little bit of spice because it's Madras curry. It's like a hot curry. And it's just wonderful. Adds a nice little crispy crust on top. And the yogurt pulls everything together. Just a little creamy, a little savory, a little acidic. Very, very good. Very, very fresh tasting because there's a lemon in it too. Oh man. Killer dish. Curry pan roasted scallops, buttered potato fondants, little crispy caper and cashew Gremolata on top, roasted zucchini yogurt. So good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this recipe. If you did, make sure you give this video a like. Subscribe to my channel if you guys like what I'm doing here as a whole. Check my description box for my other social platforms, ingredient lists, equipment lists, things that I use on my channel. Of course, leave comments down below for future video requests, things you want to see, and all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time with another recipe. Later, folks. Come here. Sit over here. There you go. This is curry on it.
Okay.
And it's a potato right here. You want to first taste this one?
Yeah.
Good, huh? It's like a little buttery tasting, huh? And then you want a potato. And this is green zucchini yogurt on the bottom. Isn't that yummy?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You can have the next bite. What do you think? Okay, have a potato bite. Love you, buddy. Thanks for liking my food.